This video is going to talk about dividing mixed numbers when you have some fractions. So, we have 2 5/8 divided by 2/3. Just like when you're working with multiplying with fractions, you cannot divide mixed numbers. You have to turn them into fractions first. So that 2 5/8 has to go. So I need to change that 2 5/8 into an improper fraction. So I'm going to take 2 5/8, and I'm going to multiply 8 times 2, which is 16. And then I'm going to add the 5, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. That makes it 21 over 8. So instead of 2 5/8, I'm going to put in 21 over 8. And then I'm going to multiply the reciprocal just like I do when I'm dividing with fractions. The division sign changes to a multiplication sign, and that 2/3 goes from 2 over 3 to 3 over 2. Now what I have here is I can do my multiplication. Is there anything I can cancel out in there? I don't see anything I can simplify, which is unfortunate, but we'll get over it. So I see 21 times 3, which needs to be just half step lower. 3 times 1 is 3, 3 times 2 is 6. That makes it 63 over 8 times 2. Well, 8 times 2 is 16. And now I'm left with 63 over 16. So with that gem, I want to know how many times 16 goes into 63. So I'm going to add, I know that 16 plus 16, I know that's 32. 32, it seems like I can get closer to 63, so let's try another 16. So 6, 7, 8, that makes it 48. That seems pretty close. I don't think I can get any closer than that. So that's 3 16s. But I'm going to have some left over. So now I have 63 minus 48. 13 minus 8 is going to be 5. 5 minus 4 is 1. So I'm left with 3 15 sixteenths. You could have just as easily shown the long division for that. Let's go over here. 63 divided by 16, 16 times 3. We know that 16 times 3 is 48. Couple different ways to think about it, but just so you know, you still get the same answer, no matter which way you look at it. Next problem. 4 2/3 divided by 3 1/2. Well, I can't do anything until I get rid of those mixed numbers. I have to turn them into improper fractions. So I'm going to take 4 2/3, and I'm going to multiply 3 times 4 is 12, plus 2 is 14 over 3. So I have 14 over 3, and I know I'm going to get something over here, but just to make absolutely sure, I'm going to keep this a division problem and just figure out the mixed numbers first. That way I can really make sure I'm taking the problem step by step and not rushing ahead and confusing myself. So now I need to take 3 1/2, and I need to turn that into an improper fraction. So 3 times 2 is 6, plus 1 is 7. That makes it 7 over 2. So now I can do my multiplication, but first I see something that I can simplify before I multiply, which will make my life easier later on. So 2 and 14 are both even. They can both be divided by 2. 2 becomes 1, 14 becomes 7. 7 times 7 is 49. 3 times 1 is 3. Now all I have to do is I need to do my, make my ln divide to see how many times 3 goes into 49. So I'm going to come over here, and I have 49 divided by 3. Well, 3 goes into 4 one time. Left with a 1 here. Go down, bring down the 9. 3 goes into 19 6 times. 3 times 6 is 18. Left with a 1. So my answer is going to be 16 1/3. The question that you're going to solve 4 1/5 divided by 2 1/3.